Hello and welcome back to Mental Health Awareness Week 2019, my bipolar series. This episode, I guess you could call it an episode, is about how to help one of your friends, family or loved ones who has bipolar. I will just say, it is the same day. I just put my hair up, it's been a few hours, the camera was charging, it's also now rush hour and our road gets really busy around rush hour, so if there's sounds, if there's shouting, honking, vroom vroom sounds, I'm very sorry. If it's too awful, I'll try and crop them out. But on with the show. The number one thing I'd say if you were trying to support someone with bipolar disorder is make sure that you are okay first. You cannot be a support to other people if you're not sound yourself. I'm not saying that your mental health has to be perfect and you need to have all of the answers to your own mental health. I just mean like codependency is not good, and there's a very apt Bible verse that says you need to pick the log out of your own eye before you try and take the splinter out of your brother's, and it basically means like you can't expect to save other people if there's something that you need to resolve first. Codependency is not good. It creates toxicity and bad environment. So make sure that you're looking after your mental health. You don't need to be perfect and like God of your own mind in order to look after other people, but you do need to be looking out for your own emotional well-being as well. Don't sacrifice yourself as a martyr. And make sure that you're safe, that you have someone that you can then go and talk to. You know, if you've had a particularly difficult explosion, episode, day, session, chat with your bipolar bud, you need to make sure that you've got someone you can go to and talk and what's it called, diffuse, with. Number 2, knowledge is power. Try and learn about the disease. So if you're here, hopefully you're here because you've Googled or YouTubed how to help a friend with bipolar. Hi, you're doing a great job already looking for how to support your friend. Knowledge is power. This book is brilliant. My mum did not like it. But I really like it. It is Bipolar Disorder, The Ultimate Guide by Sarah Owen and Amanda Saunders. And this book is written by these two incredible women, one of whom is, I believe Stephen Fry's. No, okay. One of the people who edited the book is Stephen Fry's sister / PA / agent, Joe Crocker. She basically runs his life for him. And also a whole bunch of people who have bipolar themselves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, let's do it to count. There's like 30 odd people with bipolar who contributed to this book, and basically it's like a question and answer book. It's like the world's best bipolar Q&A. So for example, let's open a page. Question 60, what are the pros and cons of being treated in a psychiatric hospital? And then there's like from Sarah and Amanda have each written a response, and then they've got quotes from the contributors who have bipolar. What is an advocate is one of the questions. How can someone with bipolar disorder get psychological treatment? What causes bipolar disorder? Can bipolar be caused by thyroid problems? All sorts of questions, real good stuff. Watch videos of people who have bipolar and hear what they have to say. But I'd say also, if I said this in another video, NICE guidelines say that if you have a diagnosis of bipolar, you should be assigned a named CPN, community psychiatric nurse, CPN, who you should be able to meet twice a month. That doesn't necessarily happen, but that's what NICE recommends to the NHS in terms of treatment of bipolar and management. So hopefully your loved one either has a CPN already, or if they're newly diagnosed or in hospital, they will be getting a CPN soon. They should put together a relapse drill, sometimes they call it, or an advance statement, or early warning sign paper thing. They should have a document somewhere with all of their early warning signs and the action that needs to be taken at each stage. And that will be really useful for you as a supporter. When I came away to university, I gave one to my friend Heather, who is a learning disability nurse. I gave one to Bobby because she was my friend who I was moving in with. And I think my teachers had a copy, maybe one of my tutors had a copy, I can't remember, but my parents have a copy, my CPN has a copy, my GP has a copy. And yeah, when people ask me like, how can I support my friend with bipolar, I'm like, get a copy of their relapse drill, learn their early warning signs, and if they're okay with that, and learn the appropriate action, stick crisis team's number in your phone. Again, you should be able to get that number off your friend / family member with bipolar, or if not, you can phone the local community mental health team and say, hi, can I have the crisis team number, I have a loved one on your books, blah blah blah. Have their CPN's number in your phone, know what medication they're on, and have a list, an up-to-date list of their medication. Now this is really, really intense, and this is the kind of thing that you would do if you were like carer / parent / next of kin. If you just live with someone with bipolar and you want to know sort of more how to support them, then that's kind of things like just making sure that they're getting to their lectures. If you're a university student, making sure that they're getting out of the house, or if you know it's a friend who you don't want to do that intensive support with, which is completely fine. Really that kind of stuff shouldn't fall to anyone other than carers and next of kin. However, you know, if you're there, like, you want to be involved, you want to sort them out, I mean, you can't really sort them out, that's not your job. You want to help them as much as possible, then you can do all that stuff. But if not, like I say, learn about bipolar in its basic forms. By watching these videos, you're doing a brilliant job. And be informed of just like their day-to-day activities, like I say, making sure that they get to work, making sure that they get out of the house. I don't mean you need to drag them out of bed, get them dressed, brush their teeth and give them lunch. Like, I just mean knock on their door in the morning and say, hey, you up, you need to get out, and then in the evening saying, hey, how was your day, did you get in okay? A great question, how are you? Don't ask, are you okay? Because no one answers correctly to that question. Ask people how they are. Do not take it upon yourself to ask, have you taken your medication? Because I can guarantee you will not get a good response, okay? When people ask me that, I go a little bit crazy, and then they want to ask me all over again if I've taken my medication. Yeah, don't ask that. It's really rude. I've had it where people have, when I've been getting excited and like hyperactive, and people have been like, do you need to take your medication? I'm like, no, fuck off. I'm really sorry if like any of my church friends are watching this. But no, people with bipolar are allowed to get excited and be animated, as I am in all of these videos. You know, inside voices please. No, I'm not a 5-year-old. Please don't treat me like that. People with bipolar are human beings. You know, we are, for the most part, mature, responsible adults just like you. Just because we're having a good time does not mean that we are having a relapse, or that we need to calm down, or that we need to take our medication. Like, most people who are on medication like lithium and things regularly, they will be very on it with their medication, because generally if you have problems taking medication, if you have a history of not managing your meds properly, if you have a history of having like regular psychotic episodes where you believe your medication is poison and stop taking it, that only happened to me twice, they won't give you things like lithium, because lithium, if you come off it really suddenly, it can be really dangerous, just as dangerous as if you have too much in your system. So generally, if someone's on medication, you don't need to ask the question, unless they've asked you to be accountable for them taking their meds. You know, if they are forgetful and whatever, that's something that you can do to help. You can learn about side effects of the medication, you can ask them if they have side effects. You could ask when their lithium level bloods are due, and make sure that they book in to get those done. If you're overdue on your lithium bloods, your prescriber won't want to prescribe them. So if you've got someone who you know has had a blood test kind of recently, but not that recently, maybe ask them like, are your bloods due, whatever. But like, just be their friend. I know I've said number 1, number 2, number 3, but like the number 1 thing is just be their friend. Treat them normally, treat them respectfully. You know, if they're depressed, try and, you know, book them up a little bit. If they are apathetic and not cooking food, or if they don't feel hungry, or to take out with them and, you know, sit in a den of blankets and eat some crappy food and watch a film or something. Try and get them excited about life. So I love Steven Universe, and I like playing games, and so if I am depressed, I like to watch shows with people, or I just like to spend time with people. I like tea, you know, make them a cup of tea, make them a favourite drink, go and sit with them for a bit. Things like mania, and how to help if someone's like manic, hypermanic. Hypermania, for the most part, I don't think there's much you can do. Just sort of watch, and if they start exhibiting signs of psychosis, or if they seem to be a danger to themselves or others, maybe that's time to ring crisis team, or phone their parents if you are like just a housemate as in you're not a personally close and visited friend. Try and contact their next of kin or their family and say, look, this is happening, we need help. You can call their GP surgery as well, if they seem a danger to themselves, but yeah, I don't really think there's much you can do for mania either. Don't say calm down. Like I say, don't treat them like a child. If they're in dangerous situations, you might want to follow them in there and try and rescue them, but that's not your job, and it can be dangerous, and it can ruin your friendship. And I'll talk about, I will make another video about that, how not to support someone with bipolar, and that video will be more about the things that can be damaging to you. So I think I've covered everything that I wanted to cover in this video. Like I say, I will head on over to the next video, but if you have any questions, if you have a loved one with bipolar, or if you have a friend with bipolar, or you want to learn more about it, just comment down. Anything, any questions, I'm really open. I hope you can tell I'm very open about this kind of thing. Or I'll probably respond quicker on Instagram, so again, my Instagram handle is in the description. So yeah, any questions or anything, just let me know, and I'll see you in the next video, which will be how not to support someone with bipolar.